The criticism surrounding Bo Nix has reached a breaking point. The disrespect, the doubt, the lazy narratives, it's all gone way too far. And inside the Denver Broncos locker room, there is a quiet fire burning. Sean Payton and this team are tired of the noise. They know what they have, and they are ready to prove it. And trust me, the matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs cannot come fast enough. But before we go any deeper into this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with other fans. And of course, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. This channel is for the true football family. Now, back to the point. Recently, a well-known sports commentator made what might be one of the most outrageous claims I've heard all season. He suggested that Sean Payton might already be thinking about drafting another quarterback, claiming that Bo Nix has regressed, and that the Broncos should be preparing to move on. Let's be clear, that narrative is not only wrong, it's reckless. He went on to say Bo Nix looks nervous, that he only plays well late in games, that he's not right mentally, that his passer rating has dropped, and that turnovers are coming. Statements said with confidence, but supported by nothing. And here's the truth. We've watched this franchise cycle quarterback after quarterback for years. We've seen what inconsistency actually looks like. This is not that. Bo Nix, even in a tough stretch, is performing at a level many teams would beg for. His poise, his command of the offense, and his growth in late-game moments show a quarterback building a foundation, not falling apart. The so-called experts can talk. The critics can tweet. But once the Broncos step onto that field against Kansas City, the talking stops. Because Bo Nix is about to answer everything. You don't win 7 straight games in the National Football League by accident. That does not happen without a quarterback who can lead, command, and elevate the players around him. That's not opinion, that's reality. Broncos fans have lived through the years where that wasn't the case. We know exactly what a struggling quarterback looks like. And we also know what a quarterback with it looks like. So let's talk facts, not noise. Some of these same analysts praising Josh Allen and calling him an MVP candidate today seem to forget what his early career looked like. Through his first 25 games, he finished with 4,811 passing yards, 27 total touchdowns, 20 interceptions, a passer rating under 80. Now compare that to Bo Nix through his first 25 games, more passing yards, higher completion efficiency, significantly more touchdowns, fewer turnovers. These aren't opinions. These are numbers. These are results. And if we zoom out even further, the picture gets even clearer. There's a comparison chart that looks at Bo Nix, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Josh Allen, and John Elway through their first 27 games. And look at where Bo stands. In total passing yards, he trails only Peyton Manning. In completions, he actually surpasses Peyton and Brees. In interceptions, he leads the group in the best possible way, with the fewest. And let's be honest, a number of those interceptions were tipped passes or situational plays where he was forced to push the ball. If a different quarterback had thrown one of those same passes, we all know the broadcast would be full of excuses like, well, that's basically a punt, or the wind took that one. But when it's Bo, suddenly, the standards change. Suddenly, the context disappears. And yet, the numbers still speak louder than the criticism. They tell the story of a quarterback who is not falling apart, but rising. When you compare production, poise, efficiency, and growth, Bo Nix isn't trailing these greats. He's competing with them. He's belonging with them. He's building toward something real. And the league is going to see that, very soon. When you factor in both passing and rushing touchdowns, the story becomes even louder. Through his first 27 games, Bo Nix has accounted for 54 total touchdowns. Let that sink in. That's a level of production that surpasses the favorite quarterbacks of the analysts, the critics, and the fans who pretend they've always known greatness. 54 touchdowns. As a rookie. As a leader. As a fighter. And he's doing it while the Broncos carry the largest dead cap hit in NFL history. This team has played from behind in resources, in payroll, in roster freedom, and Bo Nix is still out there producing at a level that rivals the greats. After next year, that burden disappears. But Bo is already proving he doesn't need ideal conditions to shine. And let's talk about supporting cast. He isn't surrounded by a lineup of former first-round wide receivers. He isn't playing behind a historically dominant roster. He wasn't dropped into the perfect situation. We heard all off-season how other rookie quarterbacks landed in dream scenarios, stacked with weapons and protection. Bo Nix didn't get that. He's building something in Denver with grit, not luxury. With development, not pre-packaged success. And yet, he's still producing. Now, some fans look at this recent 4-game stretch and panic. They see a couple decisions they didn't like and suddenly start questioning everything. But perspective matters. Even Drew Brees, one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever to touch the field, went through a rough stretch early in his second year. 4 picks in one game. Multiple games with no touchdowns. A span where everything looked off. And yet, nobody today questions who Drew Brees became. Even in what some call a rough patch, Bo Nix's production, decision-making, and efficiency remain higher than Brees during that same stage of development. We're also ignoring what just happened a short time ago, the Dallas game, where Bo Nix and the Broncos lit up the scoreboard for 44 points, so dominant that he didn't even finish the game because the lead was that big. Or the 33-point fourth quarter, a comeback that most quarterbacks will never experience in their careers. One stretch does not define a quarterback. Not when the full story is this strong. Not when the numbers keep proving the critics wrong. So let's make something absolutely clear, Bo Nix is not being traded. Bo Nix is not being replaced. Bo Nix is not regressing. He is growing. He is competing. He is proving. And soon, the rest of the league will have no choice but to acknowledge it. The Denver Broncos are not moving on from Bo Nix. That idea doesn't even exist inside the building. Sean Payton has been clear from the start, this is his quarterback. This is the leader he believes in. You've heard it from teammates too. Players who share the huddle with Bo every single day. They talk about his confidence, his preparation, his fire. They've seen him in the locker room after the fourth quarter comebacks. They've seen him commanding the sideline when the game is on the line. They know what he is. Even former stars and respected analysts, people who actually watch the film, have said the same thing. Bo Nix has the traits of a top 5 quarterback in the making. And if you ask fans which young quarterback they'd take going forward, the list is short. Sure, you could argue for Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Stroud, they're extremely talented. But Bo Nix belongs in that conversation. That's the point. He's winning. He's leading. He's delivering in moments where the greats are made. And look at the fourth quarter numbers. When the lights are the brightest, when the game is on the line, when the season is hanging by a thread, Bo Nix plays his best football. That's not something you coach. That's something you are. Even respected reporters who understand the game have acknowledged it. They've said exactly what Broncos fans already know, Bo Nix is different. Yes, there have been stretches that weren't beautiful. Every quarterback has those. Even Drew Brees, in his second year under Sean Payton, went through a stretch far rougher than what we just saw from Bo. And anyone who understands Sean Payton's offensive system knows how complex it is. It asks the quarterback to command more than most systems in the league. It takes time. It takes repetition. It takes patience. And Bo Nix has embraced every bit of that challenge. What matters most is his response. He does not panic. He does not fold. He does not shy away. When the Broncos were down in the fourth quarter earlier this season, Bo was on the sideline smiling, not because he didn't care, but because he knew exactly what was coming. He knew the moment was his. That's not nerves. That's ice in the veins. And here's something people are overlooking: during this stretch, the Broncos accomplished something that has not been done since 1973. That's how rare this run has been. That's the kind of history Bo Nix is already shaping in Denver. This isn't just growth. It's the beginning of something real. What the Denver Broncos just accomplished is historic. 7 wins in 39 days, traveling coast to coast, battling different environments, different stadiums, different situations, and still finding ways to finish. That doesn't happen without a quarterback who is built for moments that demand toughness, leadership, and belief. Bo Nix is special. This organization knows it. The locker room knows it. Broncos Country knows it, or at least, we should. There is no moving on. There is no looking for the next guy. This is our quarterback. This is our future. This is the player we are growing with, building with, and rising with. So stop the doubt. Stop the booing. Stop feeding the narrative that never belonged to us in the first place. Because the world is about to see it, on the biggest stage. Against Kansas City. Under the lights. When the world is watching. That is where Bo Nix will remind everyone exactly who he is. Fireworks. Energy. Execution. Heart. That game isn't just another matchup, it's a statement. A statement that the Broncos are not just back, they are building something real. And when this season moves past the dead cap era, when the team has the flexibility to add even more talent around him, when the roster continues to grow, this team is going to be dangerous in ways people don't see coming yet. Bo Nix is not just a placeholder. He is not a temporary answer. He is the foundation. And I'll say this with complete conviction: Denver is going to compete for championships with Bo Nix. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not instantly. But the path is real. The direction is clear. The belief is solid. The Denver Broncos are rising, and they are rising with him. The critics can doubt. The talk shows can argue. The loudest voices can keep shouting. But when the dust settles, the results will speak for themselves. This is Broncos Country. This is Bo Nix. And the story is only just beginning.